Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Don't forget, if you like the video, click on like and subscribe and talk about it on chat lines or wherever it is your social media activities and help us to grow and help more people. I'll talk to you soon. Thomas says, well, I did what you told me not to. Okay. I ended up contacting my ex who blocked me for what seemed to be no reason and asked her why from another phone, but did not get a response to that message. It all seems too strange considering we spoke on the phone a couple of weeks ago and things seems fine. Look, Thomas, you need to stop looking for conclusions. Looking for conclusion is the death of us all. That's the basis of the brain being constantly haunted and busied with useless tasks. You need to take the load off of your brain because brain itself is not intellect. It's not smart enough to know what it should spend its energy on, what it shouldn't. It's just stupid. It's an organ. You got to tell it and direct it by commanding or prioritizing what this particular apparatus should be used for, engaged in, or not. So, by disconnecting the need for conclusion from your tasks, then the brain will not have a mandate to think that what it's doing is serving you or protecting you or is necessary or requested of it. And it would let go. The idea that you simply should adopt that I don't need conclusions about things. I handle them the way I have. They happen the way they have. And that's what it is. I go on and I learn from this experience or whatever it was and have a new policy or modified policy, and I will handle similar situations in the future differently if this is not to my liking. But I'm not going to go into my memory and try to modify what has already happened and doesn't exist and is dead now and beat it to death and try to modify it in my memory, thinking that the memory is actually actuality while it's just a virtuality. I'm trying to fix an actuality that maybe I was not satisfied the way I handled it in a virtual world. And because it never comes up to give me the results that I'm looking for in the actual world, I will never see the end of it. And I will constantly be in the virtual world trying to fix something that is simply fixed by the time I finish my narrative. And then again, the next time I think of it, I have to redo it again because there is no physical evidence of that modification having taken place because it was done in a virtual world, in the brain, in just somewhere that nothing exists anymore. It's a memory. You're trying to fix something that is not necessary to fix it again. Why? Because it's not even exist. It's dead. It's memory. It's the past. So, who gives a shit why she blocked you? Leave it. You all know my video about, or I hope you know about thoughts. What is thinking and how to stop thought? When someone asks you, what is your name? You say, Mehran. Your name, not mine. And when someone asks you where you're from, you say Ireland or Canada or Iran or Japan or wherever. That's not thinking. That's an instinctive response that is available to you, and boom, the answer is there. That's not thinking. But when someone asks you how long does it take from Ireland to go to Japan, and you have an aircraft of this size with four engines, and this is the horsepower of each engine, and this is the number of passengers, and tell me how long it takes to get there, and the kind of fuel, how much fuel you need, and all that, then you got it now. From the moment that question is posed, you go into figuring it out phase, calculation. How much does it weigh? How many passengers? How much fuel I need? What speed I will go? Then you calculate how long it takes you to get to Japan. From the time you start this calculation to the time that you find the answer to it, it's called thinking. Now, the thinking stops When you come up with the answer to this question, like you calculate how long it takes with this aircraft to go from Ireland to Japan, thinking stops because the calculation ended. The results are found. But there are other ways that they thought thinking stops as well. That's specifically talking about repetitive thoughts and thoughts that you constantly are busy with. So in this particular example, so the thought thinking stops when you find the answer to the question of how long it takes with this kind of aircraft go from Ireland to Japan. It also stops when you try to figure it out and you can't find the answer. So you say, I don't know. The moment you say, I don't know, thinking stops because the brain gets the mandate and the order that I cannot figure it out, and therefore logically useless to continue this process of thinking. So thinking stops. The third way is when you say, so first way was to figuring it out and come to an answer, a result. That's when thinking stops. Or you say, I don't know, because you have started calculation and you couldn't figure it out. And then you say, I don't know because you couldn't know. Or you say, I don't want to know. When they asked you the question, you choose right then without even trying. I don't know, or I don't want to know. That itself stops the brain from going into any calculation or any figuring out phase, and it will stop thinking before it starts. Or if it has started, it stops thinking because you gave it a mandate. I don't want to know. And the brain is an apparatus. It listens to command, your command, because you're the boss. You're the intellect. You decide for it what to do, what not to do, if it's trained well. So you stop thinking. Now, the same thing here somewhat applies. You're trying to figure out something because you have deemed it important. I got to know why she blocked me. Make it unimportant. I don't give a shit. She blocked me. She's an idiot. Imbalanced. Or it's her prerogative. I don't care. My worth and value is not dependent on her views of me. It's dependent on my accomplishments and what energy I put in what effort and what I want to accomplish in my life, what I built. And that's where my affirmations and worth and value comes from. That's where my confidence comes from. But if your confidence comes from some jackass or whoever making an opinion about you, then your question should be, who is she to make an opinion about me? What has she accomplished in her life to give her that kind of echelon and credibility to actually her views about me make me or break me? So you simply say, I don't care. I don't want to know. But when you are so weak and lack of confidence, you think someone's opinion about you can make you somewhere which is nowhere. It's fictitious, it's bullshit. That belief or that opinion about that person, would it give you credibility in the eyes of a company who wants to hire you or some other people? No, they're oblivion to this person's opinion. And even if they hear this person's opinion about you, they don't care. So you shouldn't care because it has no worth and value. It's only about egoistic or fictitious kind of, feeling, oh, yeah, she likes me, so I'm important. No, go be important in real sense. Then you wouldn't give a shit about what she does or does not think about you. So right now, just say, I don't care. I don't want to know. That's the end of it. That's how you deal with these sort of things, which so ends up making you obsessed with it. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. mind@seekstruth.com, making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.